ask you after the game, but when Gregg said a couple of weeks ago that he wanted you to cut it loose and not fear making a mistake, did you feel that was necessary? Did he need to say that to you?
I think it went beyond just playing like on the field type stuff. I think him saying cut it loose to me means let my personality go, let everything, just the reason why I was brought here is because of that stuff, the infectious energy, the passion for the game that I try and bring every day. And so I think it was more than just on play.
And we've talked about eliminating mistakes. Is there a fine line there between eliminating mistakes on the field and being willing to take those?
Oh, absolutely. There's smart decisions and then there's careless. But playing aggressive and playing on that line is something he talks about. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to find that little balance right in between that.
Statistically, the last two games for you have been just so much better than previous games. Is it, in your mind, is it a change of left tackle, a coaching change, or is there growth from you? And can you pinpoint what's going on?
I think it's a mix of all of it. I think it's our guys believing in it, knowing we don't need anything else besides what we have in this locker room. Blocking out the distractions, coming together. Things happen, and you can use it for good, and we did. And just focusing on doing our job. I talked about that the whole season, and then we finally realized if we just do our job, our 111th when we're out there playing, then we can get things done.
What do you think about playing a team now coached by you, Jackson?
I'm excited. Anytime you get to play somebody that you're familiar with, that's always fun. Whether it's former teammates, former coaches, people in college, recruiting-wise, or that you met through camps, different stuff like that, I think that's always fun.
It's got to be weird it happened so quick.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for him to go down south, so it's a little different.
Speaking of former teammates, if your defensive teammates are asking, what do you tell them about Joe Mixon?
Joe's gonna talk, and he's gonna back it up. So no matter what he's saying, you got to go up and you got to swarm tackle. He's a special player. He's one of the best teammates I ever had. He's a guy that he gets guys around him to rally behind him. He's fun to play against just because of the trash talk.
Going back to you, could you just talk about what you learned from him just in the time he was here?
He tried to, grab a hand towards everybody, affect everybody. Just talking to different people throughout the process. He's a guy that wanted to be friends with everybody, and so very good guy.
Can a head coach be friends with everybody?
I don't know. Everybody does differently. I mean, if you look at some of the coaches that have been through here, that have been in the NFL, you got guys that run off fear and respect. Then you got guys that are younger, that try and be more relatable. I mean, it just, whatever works. It's, every coach is different.
There are varying opinions seemingly coming out of the locker room from what we heard from guys on Monday about this question, so I wanted to know your take. But do you think Hugh's knowledge of the playbook, the personnel, would give the Bengals an advantage at all?
No.
And why not?
Just no.
Are you the sweatshirt, the Bowling Green? Is there anything beyond that?
Some of the coaches I had at Texas Tech are there now, and then I know their quarterback. So it's a comfy sweatshirt too.
You saw Monday night's game. I don't know, but I assume you saw part of it.
Yeah.
Is that the future of the league?
It's starting to go that way. You see how college transformed, and now everybody says that's the way college is played. But when you get offenses that scheme like that, spread you out, that's the result you see. It's hard to defend. I mean, when you have that many weapons that those teams do, yeah, obviously it's a little bit different. But at the same time, people are realizing that you don't have to just sit up and run the football. But there's times, especially in our division, that we need to do that. You need to be able to run the ball when they know you're going to. So it's different. I think it depends on the scenario.
How much of what you saw Monday was stuff you did in college? How much of that's translating into the NFL?
A decent amount. They're doing a lot of, I wouldn't say the exact schemes, but the mismatch. You're trying to create different mismatches, create confusion with different motions, alignments. It's just they're trying to throw a defense off guard, throw in little wrinkles that they wouldn't normally do, but show them something new.
How do you see yourself fitting in a league like that?
Like those offenses from Monday. I've done it before, so I would have success. I would hope so at least. But right now, I'm doing this and I'm enjoying it as well.
Would you say a day like today, temperature-wise, is the coldest you've played football in?
No, played in a pretty good blizzard a couple of years ago in West Virginia, so that one was pretty miserable.
With 6 games left here in this stretch run, what would you like to accomplish from a personal standpoint? What do you think that you really need to get before the season ends?
Lead this team to a bunch of wins, put us back in the race.
To go back to your post-game comment about feeling dangerous, is there anything?
Did you buy a shirt yet? Did you buy a shirt yet?
I got a bunch of Christmas gifts all
Okay,
wrapped
all
up.
right.
Was there anything to that? Was that just
No,
kind
I've-
of having fun heading into a bye?
No, I've said that always for the past couple of years. You know, my family texts me like game day. They ask me how I'm feeling. That's the response. So that's nothing new for me. It's just the first time I've said it at a press conference.
You trademarking that?
We'll see. We're working on it.
How do you feel today?
I'm feeling good right now. It's not game day.
What's the best reaction you got from that, or anything that stood out?
There's a couple people shortly after that asked me how I was feeling, and they were expecting me to say feeling dangerous. But it's not game day, so I can't say that. No.
When you look at the Cincinnati defense, the numbers aren't good. You know, I mean, could set the record for most yards allowed. I think it's 55.5 on third down. Does that give you a lot of excitement as you're preparing to go against a defense like that?
You know, I feel like we've had a couple of those questions throughout the year, like when we played the Chiefs defense or the Bucs defense. What it comes down to is us doing our job. It doesn't matter who we're playing; we have to execute, and that's the mentality I've always had. So I'm not going to look at it statistically like that. But you know, we're going to scheme against what they're doing, but we have to do our job when it comes down to it.
You've played in a lot of hostile environments in college on the road, and you've had success doing that. What have you found about playing on the road here at the NFL level?
You know, the tradition's not always there. You know, it's not the same as college rivalries. So I think it's very easy in college to, you know, kind of come together. You have every reason to do that. So now it's much more professional. So you got to find ways to bring everybody together to have that mentality that your back's against the wall, that it's just you on the road, and you got to find a way to win.
Hey Baker, how do those college rivalries transfer to the NFL, whether it's you playing against guys that you were rivals with in college or even when Emmanuel guys end up on your team?
Yeah, it's just different. I think it comes down to just the level of respect you have for guys. You know, we're all at the highest level in our profession, so it's just not the same. But you got to find ways to treat it competitive, and it's always fun to play against the best competition. That's what we're doing every week.
When you watch Lamar have the success running the ball that he did against that Bengals defense last week, is that something you guys can make a point of emphasis, or is he just so different?
If you're asking me to run the ball like Lamar Jackson, that's not happening.
I would just run the ball.
We always try and run the ball, but not with me. I am not the athlete that he is. I would love to do that, but that's God-given talent that I don't have.
Playing well and heading into the final stretch. What do you think about Rookie of the Year?
No, you know what? I've always said the individual accolades come if your team's having success. So if we take care of business down the road, we'll see. But right now, we got to take it 1 week at a time.
If you did think about it, is it pretty cool to have one of your biggest competitors be a teammate with Nick Chubb?
It might be revenge for the Rose Bowl. Yeah.